Nice to see some familiar faces and meet some new ones. My name's Blair Phillip. I used to be the Director of Research and Development at Breakthrough Golf. Now the main man on the ground is Rob Stevens. Rob developed a lot of these concepts together with me, and then we're adding new products to the matrix as we speak, and it's exciting. I would like to introduce you, first of all, to this driver shaft. It's part of your matrix already. You know, obviously, carving out real estate in a chain of stores like this is something we're always trying to do, and we're very happy and honored that you're considering us. This is called the Brava line of driver shafts and fairway woods. The shafts are actually identical, so in terms of the fairway wood and the driver, so the weights are the same. They're just the same blank, just trimmed. And so just so you know, on the inside, we have had some success with the fairway wood, but in terms of the driver, we've had a great amount of success. I don't know if you've seen any online individual videos or third-party content on either YouTube or online, but we stack up very well. It's a very useful driver for getting a few more miles an hour head speed and ball speed, and we see this for most people. In terms of a profile, somebody, the type of individual that is going to benefit from this, for people like me that are aging and breaking down and basically can't turn like Will Zalatoris can through the golf ball or those guys, it unloads a little bit more in a more friendly way and gives you a little bit more speed at the bottom for people like that. For people with a more sort of what I call a languid or smooth transition, it's great because it loads and unloads nicely for people. And we see, for the guys that have ballistic, like the guys that are built like a fire hydrant and they're just ripping it from the top, you might not see a huge differential in terms of speed, but for those that have a little bit more reasonable tempo, you should see a couple miles an hour. I got 3 miles an hour ball speed just switching to this. I use an X Flex in ours, just because it seems to perform well for me. The stiffness is more in the upper section, so there's less flexion going on towards the handle, and a little bit more going on towards the tip. So it's not like it's not boardy at all. It's got some snap to it. Feel like it unloads the same as other similarly labeled products. So it's a little softer in the S, a little softer in the X than you would typically see. But people don't seem to have trouble controlling it. If you go online, I challenge you to go online and look at YouTube videos of guys that are even long drive guys. Will went out to Palm Desert and he handed it to a guy that makes his living hitting long balls, and he took our regular flex. And he was impressed. It's player by player. You know, you have to look at the numbers and put it in there. But those people that I do find the right one for generally get a little bit more ball speed. So this is robot testing, third-party robot testing. Gene Parente in California, if you know him, he's got the robot over there. We send him our stuff, and he tests against the leading shafts or shafts that we think are relevant to compare ourselves to, and you can see the difference. We were straighter and longer than Autoflex on average. Now this is a 95 mile an hour head speed, which isn't too slow. It's not too fast. It's kind of I don't know how many 95 mile an hour swingers you see. Probably quite a few, I would imagine. Is that right? Yeah. So that's why we chose this particular speed. But it stacks up really well. Total distance is higher. It does go straight. In terms of the specs on the product, those are all listed here. Torque is a little bit higher, but that can also be a big help, as you know, to get the face squared. So, any questions on this stuff? So they're lightweight, stiff under the butt, fairly flexible in the tip, and so the head delivers a little quicker at the bottom. So it's kind of it loads a little differently than some other shafts. The Autoflex obviously is soft all the way through, and so that's why it feels like a noodle for some people. For some people, it's wonderful right away. We think we stack up really well against that product, as well as some other premium shafts, ultra premium shafts. The materials, Toray, it's made by Toray, which is one of two of the highest quality manufacturers. Mitsubishi and Toray are the two best manufacturers of graphite in the world. It's mandrel wound. And are there any other questions about it? The only thing you should know is if you are cranking it down because it's lightweight. I mean, you see this in other products too. You don't want to clamp it really tight because lightweight shafts don't do well if you're squeezing them too tight in the vise. That's all. And there's a little warning on each one saying don't over clamp this, because you don't want to introduce any extra imperfections in the shaft before people even get them. We're also developing new products as we speak, so I'll put it that way. But this does perform well for people with the lower head speeds in their 3-woods. We've even had some pros put this in their 3-woods, and they like it. In terms if head speed's their problem, I think a lot of people don't hit their. You can tell me if I'm wrong, but I think a lot of people don't generate enough head speed to hit a fairway wood. And so, if you can get them over that crucial barrier in terms of head speed, maybe it'll help. Vary by flex, yes, but yes, one way to cross the board. Again, we're working on stuff, so we hope to carve out a little more real estate next to these in the near future. When they go out the door, they are trimmed 1 inch on either side. So, we saw no drop in launch angle with the fairway wood compared to something that was made as a fairway wood untipped. So that's our. Let me see if I can get out of here. That's our Brava driver shaft.